So today I'll be showing you guys how to make a bonnet, and this is going to be a very fast tutorial. So what you're going to do first is to cut out your fabric, a square fabric. So what I'm using here is 30 inches of length and 30 inches of width. So it's supposed to be the same length and the same width. So whatever length you're using is going to be the same width. If you're using 29 of length, you're going to use 29 of width. So it's going to be a square with 4 equal parts, right? So I've cut out mine here. So as you can see, the two ends are equal here. So what you're going to do one time, right? So after folding it into 2, then you're going to fold it into 4, right? And then on the parts with the curve here, on this end here, so you're going to leave this part that looks like this, right? The parts with this end here, you're going to, just like how you normally cut your skirt, so you're going to leave that part on this end, and then you're going to have the folded part. So what you're going to do now is to start tracing. So what I'm going to do now is to trace about, you can use 28, you can use 27 width, like your square can be 27 or 28, whatever you want to use, 25 even, because I'm making mine to be a big one. So what I'm going to use is 15 inches. So after folding it now, what I'm going to do is to mark 15 inches all the way around. The reason I'm using 15 is just because that's the length I have here. So the length I have here is 15, so I'm just going to use that 15 to trace mine all the way. So I'm going to start tracing now. Like I said, the parts where you're going to place your tape is the part with the curve, not this part with the open ends, right? So you're going to, this part with the main curve, you're going to fix your tape there, and then from here now you're going to start marking your 15, and then you're going to hold it, mark 15 again, and then you're going to hold it like that. You keep marking whatever length you're using all the way around. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out now. The excess at the end here, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. So guys, I've gone ahead and cut this out. So I'm going to take this away. So now the main thing is just to have a circle. So now we have our circle, right? As you can see, this is a circle. If I pull it down, this is a big circle here. So with this circle now, you're going to trace it out on your satin. So remember, we are making a double-sided, so that you can use any side of it that you want. So I'm going to take this here, pin it down, and trace out this circle on this satin here. So it's good to use the color that matches the main fabric you're working with. So I'm going to pin this down and cut it out. So guys, I've cut this now. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and sew it. So you see, this is the right side of my fabric, this is the right side of the satin, and as you can see, I pinned it down. So this is the front of the fabric, the front of the satin. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead, use half an inch to close up all the way around. So half an inch at the very end. But on one point, I'm going to leave about 4 or 3 inches open. I used 1 inch to sew the whole end. If you look closer, you can see, and then I left the 3 inches I talked about. So you can leave 2 inches, you can leave 4 inches, any amount that will be enough for you to put your hand and pass this through, like turn it inside out. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess, and then I'm going to also notch these ends here. So I'm going to go ahead, notch it, and then after notching it, I'm going to flip it inside out. So guys, I've gone ahead and notched it. So to flip it out, what I'm going to do is just to put my hand here and pass this through inside out. So at this point, what you're going to do is to go ahead and iron it. So try to get all the edges out, and then you go ahead and iron the sides. Now finish this, what you can do is to just go ahead and sew. You see, I've gone ahead and ironed it out, so you see what it looks like right now. So this is the wrong side, the satin side and the fabric side, right? So what I did now is just to go ahead and mark 2 inches distance from this end. You can use 1.5, you can use 2 inches. This 2 inches I'm using is for 1 inch, 1.5 is going to be my ruffle, and then half an inch is going to be the casing for my elastic. So but this line that I made here, this is I just kept my tape here and I kept marking 2 inches, 2 inches. That's 2 inches from this distance to the end, 2 inches all the way around. So what I'm going to go now to the machine to do is just to go ahead, follow this line and just stitch it all the way closed round. So guys, you see the stitch I made on this line. If you look closely, you will see that I made two stitches here. So one is following the line that I made, which was the distance of 2 inches here. If you want, you can use 1.5 inches of distance from here. And then I made a second stitch, which is here. If you look closely, you will see it here. Let me turn it on the other side so you can see. So now you could see that there are 2 stitches here, one on the inside, which is the one for the 2 inches distance. Then I made a second one. This is going to be the casing for my elastic. So my elastic is going to pass through this inner line here. So it depends on the size of elastic you're using, but remember that if you're using a bigger elastic, that means this is going to be tight on your head. It will be painful. So the smaller the elastic, the better, because the tension will be less. So you see, the first innermost stitch, I closed it up, so there's no opening. But the second one, I left it open, the same place that I still have that my 3 inches that is open. So on this one now, you see the second stitch is open, but the first one is closed up all the way around. So from this part now, I'm going to go in and pass my elastic here. See what mine looks like. I love this color. So you see, this is what it looks like right now. So I've passed my elastic. So this is where my elastic is at the moment. So what you can do is to go ahead and tie it if you're using the tiniest one, or you can go ahead and stitch it. So you're going to go ahead and stitch it close this way, double stitch it so it doesn't come loose. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and fold this in this way. You're going to fold it in and then close it up. So that's basically how you're going to do it. So guys, I went ahead and closed up this here, you see. That's why I said it's better to use like 2 inches if you can manage, or 3 inches, just a small opening, so that when you close it up, it won't be too much like stitch on top here. So that's basically it. You see the wrong side of mine is big enough, and then you see the inside. So any side you want, you can wear. You can wear this side, you can also wear this inside of it. So you see, this is basically it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.